We're on 9-3, multiply and divide radical expressions on page 230 in your orange Algebra 1 book. I'm not going to read you these objectives. I'm going to have you go over them and put them in your notebook, though, okay? So go and pause the video, write down the slide, and then move on whenever you're ready. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. We're going to multiply 2 or 3 radical expressions, and this is how we're going to do it. So if you have a square root x times b square root y, that equals your a times your b, okay? And then your radicand times your other radicand inside one radical, okay? That's all we're doing here. That's it. So if you had 3 square root 6 times 6 square root 10, that would equal 3 times 6, come on, 3 times 6, which is right here. And then your radical, which would be square root of 6 times the square root of 10, alrighty? So then that would give us 18 with the square root of 60, okay? And that's all that you would do for the multiplication part. After that part, though, you have to simplify whatever is under the radical sign. To simplify that radicand. So, and remember, it is simplified if there are no radicals in the denominator and if there are no perfect squares within the under the radical sign. So, what a perfect square is in 60? That would be 4 times 15. Okay? So the square root of 4 is 2, so you're going to pull that 2 out of there. Multiply it to our 18. Oopsie. If I can get it there. Okay? That is going to be equals 36 square root of 15. Okay? And that's it. That's all that we're doing here. Okay? Alrighty. So same thing here. If you had, I think I messed this one up. Oopsie. If you had 2 square root 5a in parentheses squared, you're going to break it up like this. You're actually going to rewrite it again so it's being squared. Okay? So again, 2 times 2 is going to give us a 4. 5a times 5a is going to give us 25a squared. Okay? Square root of 25 is 5. We're going to pull that out. We're multiplying it here. The square root of a squared is just a. So your final answer is 20a squared. Again, do not worry anymore about the absolute value bars. That was only in this textbook, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay? Alrighty. I know I'm going really fast, but if I were to go slower, it would take me like 30 minutes, and I can only do up to a 15-minute video. So make sure to write all of these steps down. It's very, very, very important. Okay? Alright, you may also need to use the distributive property to multiply radical expressions. So that's where you have the square root of 14, then in parentheses, negative square root of 7 minus 5 square root of 2. All we're doing here is we are distributing this square root of 14 to each term inside the parentheses, okay? So negative 14 times, square root of 14 times square root of 7 is going to give us the square root of 98. Then the square root of 14 times negative 5 square root 2 is going to give us negative 5 square root of 28. Okay, again, then you have to simplify the radicands. Okay, so 49 times 2, that's going to give us the square root of 7 square root of 2. 7 square root of 2. And then the negative 5 square root of 28 is going to give us 4 times 7. Square root of 4 is going to be 2. Pull that out. Negative 5 times a positive 2 is going to give us negative 10 square root 7. That is the most simplified that expression can get. Okay? Alrighty, same thing here. So right now I want you to pause the video, hit play whenever you're ready to see if you did it correctly. Alrighty, so your final answer should be 12x, the square root of 6. Alrighty, so there's no perfect squares in 6, so that stayed over in this area right here. So 6 stayed inside the square root sign. Square root of x squared is going to be positive x, so that's why that's out here. 24x squared is going to be 4 times 6x squared. Square root of 4 is going to be 2. 2 times the 5 is going to give us the 10x. And then the x squared is going to come outside as well for the x. And they both have the exact same, or they both have like terms as far as radicals. So we add up 2x plus 10x, we get 12x square root of 6. Boom. Okay? Alright. To multiply sums and differences of 2 radicals, use FOIL like when we were multiplying binomials. Okay? So, if you follow my color-coded example here, 6 times 4 in the red is going to give us 24. For our first terms, or outside terms, is 6 times square root of 3, right here. Our inside terms would be negative square root of 3 times 4. That gives us this. Then our last term is going to be a negative square root of 3 times the square root of 3. That is going to give us right here. Alrighty, so let's finish this bad boy off. Now, negative square root of 3 times the square root of 3 right here is going to give us the negative square root of 9. Okay? So let's do this bad boy. So we have 24 plus 2 square root 3, because these buddies are like terms. Then we have the square root of negative 9 right here, which is going to be an equal to a negative 3. So then this is going to equal, just one last thing to do here. Oopsie. Right here and right here, right? 24 minus 3 is going to be 21 plus 2 square root of 6. And this is your final answer. Okay? Again, let's say that these bad boys, this had a perfect square in it, you need to make sure to simplify that as well. Okay? Alrighty. To simplify radical expressions with division, you will need it in its simplest form, which means the radicand has no perfect square factors, the radicand has no fractions, and there is no radical in the denominator. Okay? That's what we're doing here. So remember, the square root of a over b equals the square root of a over the square root of b. Right here. Make sure to put that down as well. Okay. Rationalizing the denominator of a radical expression is used to eliminate radicals from the denominator. So let's say you had this original problem right here, over here. So 3 square root 2x over the square root of 11y. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both of these, the numerator and the denominator, by this expression right here. Okay? When I do that, it's going to give me this right over here. Okay, I did that because I wanted my 11y to become a perfect square. Okay, when you multiply 11 and 11, you get the perfect square of 121, as well as y times y, which is y squared. Okay? Alrighty, so let's do this. So if we do this correctly, let's see here. So let's do 3 square root x 22 xy over the square root of 121 is 11. And the square root of x squared is going to be x. Okay? Let's go up top. There are no perfect squares in 22, as well as x or y. So that is going to be your final answer. Alrighty? Okay. I want you to write down the rest of the examples on the second page. Oh, actually, it's probably the third and fourth page of this unit. So take care of that, and then I'll see you next time in class. Bye, guys.